Hey folks, welcome back to another HP Gaming GameLINK video. Today we've got a little tiny itty bitty micro unboxing for you. We're going to be talking about micro strategy and all things micro Feudal Japan as we unbox Prometheus Game Labs Micro Dojo. Hey folks, welcome back. For those of you who don't know me, and you should by now, my name is Matt and I'm here once again to take you through a little bit of a Kickstarter unboxing. Today we are talking about Micro Dojo from Prometheus Game Labs. Now, what is it doing in an envelope like this? Well, this is the beauty of this game. It was already ready to go, pretty much ready for the printers by the time the Kickstarter campaign ended. And the game's creator, Ben, was basically ready to just hit the button on the print, order as many copies as there was backed, and print them out. And it was designed to fit in, literally, this one little envelope, which is fantastic. So the beauty of this is we paid a little bit extra to get it expedited shipping wise. The campaign concluded, I think, in June, and we received this one just in time for our July Got Your Back update, which is fantastic. It's basically a two-player game, has a solo mode as well, and it's a strategic worker placement style dojo pit fight sort of game. You take on the role of different characters and you're trying to gain the most points at the end of the rounds, end of the game, sorry. If you first to 7 points wins, otherwise at the end of the round, whoever has the most points at the end of the game is the winner. Now, I'm just going to take out the components here. They're literally on one punch board. That is pretty much one copy of the game right there. There is a couple of rules leaflets here. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, we'll find out. Got a couple of baggies for storage of all the tokens, stickers and cards. And I think, if I'm very careful here, we've got another one that's wedged in there. I'm gonna have to bust the envelope. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it, but I think I'm gonna have to. That's okay. We'll open this up. And we'll get this one out very, very carefully because we don't want to damage everything. Well, we don't have any plastic to throw on the floor. That's crazy. That's the first time that's happened. No plastic to throw on the floor. Now, just so you can have an idea of how this all sort of works, we've got all those here. That one, and that one. That here in front of me is the complete game. These are extra copies. So depending on how we go and how much we love our Patreon subscribers, we might be running a bit of a contest where you can potentially win a copy of Micro Dojo. But yeah, stay with us. I'll show you a bit more close about the components and we'll talk more about the game in the final thoughts at the end. But come on over, I'll show you what it's all about. And there it is. That's the game. No, I'm kidding. That's just the rulebook for Micro Dojo, but it's literally just this one here, this punch-out board, and then these cards. That is literally the contents of the game. So these are rules cards and movement cards, as you can see here, and different movements and actions descriptions for the solo mode and the automata, that I should say. For the solo mode, because you can play the game solo, but otherwise this is literally the game here on these wonderful little tokens. So if you look here in the rule book, that'll give you the explanation of the game, components, roughly 30 minutes per game, board reference, that sort of stuff, and it's all neatly compact as well. Basically, you move a token, you resolve the space, and the best part is they came with, the games come with a little plastic baggie to store all the components in one nice, neat little Ziploc bag, which is just bloody awesome. So let's get in close here on this one. I'll just show you this, all the punch outs before we literally do that. So you've got here, this is the main player board here, and you can see there's the 9 squares of the board, and you move and resolve those as you play the game. And then you've got your point tracker here, 1 through 7, first to 7 wins, or whoever has the highest score at the end of the rounds. And the objective markers at the top of the board, you actually lay those out. So let's punch that one out. And it's a nice high quality print as well. It's a nice shine on the board there too. So you can see the objective markers across here that will sit on that one. But that sits nicely in the middle of the table. And then you've got different tokens here as well. So this is different buildings you can build. So when you build the barracks, you've got little action descriptions there as well. They are tiny, 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 tiny. And I think the cost is in the bottom as well. So there's the reverse. So you've got some money, some food resources. Then you've got the little tokens that are active. So on the active side, they are color. And when they're inactive, they are in black and white. You've got little token trackers, and these look like little objective markers that I think differ depending on which game you're playing, or they're randomized at the start of the game, so they're not always the same. So for example, this is the score tracker. Forgive me if I'm wrong. You can trade gold to get food, or vice versa, or have the most gold if you have the most food, or have the most gold here to win. Have the same amount of food, that sort of stuff. I'll obviously verify those once I've had a look at it. But if you punch out the tokens, and that is literally all there is to it, all these different tokens. Now the back of the board has, I think it's the same on both sides. It looks like it is. Yep, looks like it's the same on both sides. Maybe one could be for a solo mode, I'm not entirely sure. But then you've got your little tokens here as well. And those are your little movers as you move around the board. And there we go. And then you've got your little meeples here. I told you there's not much to this game. I definitely said it was going to be a micro unboxing. So you've got your little sumo guy here. You've got like a geisha, a ninja, and a little soldier dude. And they obviously, you can place them on the board to move them around and enable their actions as well. And then you've got the markers. We've got some gold. The board itself, as I said, it's got a nice shine on it. The chipboard components are quite nice. Trying to give you an idea of the thickness there. It's very tiny. I mean, if you look at the player indicators, I mean, that's my really, really, really bad thumbnail, but this is literally thinner or not as wide as my thumbnail, which is very, very cool. Gives you an indication of size. Got some food tokens there as well. Oops, there we go. The birds are out in force today. And then you've got the objective token. So the objective tokens, when you play the game, will sit in objective 1, objective 2, and so on. And this objective here is worth 1 point. This one here is worth 1 point. Then you've got 2, 2, and 3. And again, as you complete objectives, you score those first to 7 points wins. That is literally all there is to it. It's a worker placement game, so you would move your character. So you might go there to get 2 money from the bank, which then obviously locks that space for that player and for the other player, and so on and so forth. And you'll keep going back and forth until you can build some of these buildings here to help you complete your objectives. All right, just before we move on, we've got the cards here, the solo mode with the description, setting up the game based on the rule book. Place the 4 meeple cards face down and shuffle them. Now, these are your different meeples here. Obviously, they're not meeples, they're little punch out, but that's okay. If you wanted to use colored meeples of your own, I'm sure you can. This is the automa, so this basically, automa, sorry, I should say, so this will tell you this character moves to this space, etc. Gives you an idea of where they're moving. But the cards themselves for this one are a little bit more on the flimsy side. They're very, very thin card, but for what they are, the quality on the print and finish is really nice. They're going to be able to have quite a bit of longevity, and they've also been designed to be able to ship relatively cost effectively. And the fact that, you know, you wait for some Kickstarters. I mean, Unbroken is a classic example. That was a game that was delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed, and finally arrived here in June, I think it was. We received that after, you know, we backed that in 2018, I think. It was meant to be a 2019 delivery. We didn't get it until 2021 in the middle of a pandemic. So Who knew? But this one here, this Kickstarter, I think, finished in late June, early July, and we already have it here in our hands, which is just awesome. Very clever campaign and designed by Prometheus Game Labs. So you'll shuffle those up, and that'll dictate as to which cards move, which meeples, I should say, rather, will move to what spaces. And then here you've got all your different meeple cards, different cards corresponding to different areas. I love that. Solo mode, I'm very much down to a solo mode. I do like that. I might even wait till everyone else has gone to bed and give this one a crack tonight. So we'll see how we go. But as I said, that's it. It's just the cards and the tokens and the board. That is literally it. We're going to come back out. I will talk about what I think of the production value and everything else. And then we'll get ready with some more gaming. So there it is. That is the contents of the micro unboxing for Micro Dojo. Now, as I said, this has a solo mode as well as a 2-player mode. Very excited to see how it plays. Such a simple game, but it looks like there's going to be quite a bit of strategy to try and build up those victory points to make sure that you take out the W. We are going to get into this one. I am probably going to give this a bit of a trial run later tonight. And all these rice tokens have inspired me. I am going to cook rice for dinner for everybody this evening as well. Look, I will let you know how we go. If we get a chance to record a playthrough or a solo playthrough, I will pop that up here on the channel. As always, folks, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much to our Patreon subscribers as well. Really appreciate your support. You can always jump on board, the address on your screen if you'd like to know more. There are some exclusive series up there as we speak that only our Patreons get access to because they're awesome. If you want to know more, or you don't want to pop comments in the comment section below, by all means. Otherwise, if you want to send a message to us privately, you can at orders@hbgaming.com.au. And of course, you can always hit up a store to get your game on, hbgaming.com.au. We will see you back at the table for more fun and adventures very, very soon. Until then, though, it is bye for now.